Where do we start? I literally don't know. You know what? Let's just hope for the best. It's been a time to shake off the cobwebs kind of thing. But first, roll that intro.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the
What it do, all you thick and nuggets out there? It is the president of the Thicky Mouse Club, your boy Mike Santee, aka Plant Poppy, aka Curly Temple, aka Walmart Bad Bunny, aka Rich Uncle, aka Thicky Mouse himself. We'll do that, who knows? But let's talk about, I guess, a quick recap of where your boy's been, because I've been gone for about 6 months, and I just took a break, honestly, and then I got lazy, and then 1 month turned into 2, turned into 6, and here we are, a whole 2 seasons later. Seasons is like weather seasons. You guys know what I mean. You guys know what I mean. I was, I was just doing my thing, honestly. I was just like trying to live my best life, trying to get my life together, if we want to call it that. Buying a lot of things, a lot of retail therapy, traveling, celebrating, doing things like that. But really, we're out here just living it up at Hot Boy Summer. And what is Hot Boy Summer, you ask? I mean, there's no real way to contextualize it all in one kind of quick recap. But I mean, Hot Boy Summer, let's just say it's the epitome of warm weather, warm behavior, and above all things, hoochie daddy shorts. And I say that as someone who, we're just going to say I've been gifted in the leg department, where I'm just glad it's a thing now where you can show off your legs. And we're talking like 7-inch inseam maximum, people. Like, it is skies out, thighs out. If women aren't seeing kneecap, they don't want it, because you'll look weird. And, coming from a man that's vertically challenged, short kings out there, blah, 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 all that stuff. It does make it a lot more enjoyable this summer when you're out here just rocking legs out left and right. I mean, don't squat too low. A little summer sausage might fall out. Be careful out there. But yeah, who doesn't love some short shorts? We bringing those back. Those are back in style. Baggy t-shirts and short shorts might be the most comfortable thing I've worn in my entire life. And so as long as that trend keeps going on, like, I'm about it. I'm a big kind of believer for it. Keep it up. But that was just part of it. I guess the other part of it, because, we have duality. We have to have some type of balance, if you want to call it that, Gemini things, is outside of a hot boy summer, I also had like a sad boy summer. And for those of you that ask, like, oh, Mike, why are you sad? Number one, none of your business. I got to keep a couple things, close to the chest, close to the vest. If y'all could let me know what that saying is, close to the vest, close to the chest. I really don't know. I feel like it's vest, because it's probably some old English thing. But, we work on ourselves. We grow. We change. We develop. We process our emotions and our feelings like mature and ever-growing adults that we are. And we just try and navigate this thing called Earth. I mean, outside of the existential dread that I'm on a rock floating through infinity, and on top of that, expanding infinity, going into more infinity in all directions always, we're fine. We're doing great. I mean, truly, I'm doing significantly better. So there's that. Remember that whole like crying episode? Not that you shouldn't be crying or anything like that, but like, I'm not crying on camera anymore. Actually, who knows? We'll see. But like, celebrated stuff, celebrated love, mourned the loss, all these things left and right. Life just comes at you, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. All that to say, we're back. We're back for good. I'm back for good. There's no plural yet. I don't know. I can't tell the future. But we were doing the things. We were living life. And so we're back to cover all of your current events. Not all of them. That's too many. Your current events, my takes on things, and the best part, there be guest. Like, this setup isn't going to be permanent, and if I have anything to say about it within the next 3 or 4 weeks, this will be a lot more conducive to having guests come on and be able to like really do what the point of this show is to not just talk about my embarrassing life, or no, the embarrassing moments of my life plus current events, but to also highlight all these amazing people that also have problems and get over them. Nevertheless, we move on. And we move on to little bits and pieces that your boy's been doing. Because I know I said I was traveling. You know, there might be a video There might be a video or two of me out there doing, you know, your normal belligerence and debauchery. Was that a sentence? I don't know. It didn't sound like one, but we're out here doing your regularly scheduled belligerence and debauchery. But part of that was recently a Hoodie Allen concert. Who's Hoodie Allen, you ask? If you're asking that, are we friends? I don't know, but we'll continue. Hoodie Allen, the New York-based rapper, Mr. Cake Boy himself. Hoodie Allen came to Charlotte, and it was a spectacular show. And I mean, it had everything. It had lights. It had a great band. It had him using a bra as a jump rope. Yeah, that was a thing. But, you know, it was what it was. It even had an encore of No Interruption. And if you know me or you know anything about Hoodie Allen, No Interruption, All American, that whole album, that song. Independently made, we'll say. But yeah, that was just, what a vibe. What a time to be alive, honestly, to do that. And based off his reaction to it, he'll be in Charlotte even more.
I'll see you every time because Charlotte is the fucking shit.
I have no idea what I was looking at past there because there's like not much past this camera. But I digress, per usual. When don't I? In other news, the self-proclaimed top G, Andrew Tate, was banned on all social medias. And that's really all I have to say about that, because we're not going to give him too much time. But the controversial commentator, the misogynistic viewpoints, the hot takes, if you want to call it that, on gender roles and treatment of women and how to act like a man and all that stuff, finally came to a halt when, I guess, what was the first brick to tumble? Was it Facebook? I feel like it was Facebook, then Instagram, then maybe Twitter, or maybe Twitter was first, but who knows? Either way, then like TikTok, all that other stuff. But it just goes to show you that, you know, maybe don't try and mold the minds or brainwash the minds of the youths, shout out to Schmidt, in a way that, I don't know, disrespects an entire sex of... Yeah, no, that's it. Just disrespects an entire sex. I don't know. Maybe try a different message. That's just me. I don't know. Make your money, do your thing. But as long as it's moral, ethical, and legal, I don't care. And honestly, the legal part's like up to... We're just going to leave it at that. But that's wild. In other news, yeah, more news. We'll just do current events. We'll just do current events today. This week, just to kind of, you know, grease the wheels, get it going. But really, golly, it is difficult to just like hop back on this thing. Pause. In local news, am I a news podcast now? I don't know. No, we're not. It's just current events until I come up with a different story that I want to tell you guys. But Charlotte FC has signed extensions with Brant Bronico and Andre Shiashiki. And honestly, it just makes me happy, especially because with Shiashiki's situation, we'll call it a situation, he had previously expressed on a podcast that he and Charlotte were kind of just like really far apart in what they were offering him money-wise and what he thought his value was for someone of his performance and his caliber, if we want to call it that. And that, we're just going to be transparent, that irked me in a sense because growing up a New York sports fan, you're not always used to front offices doing the right thing. And shoot, you guys may not have heard this about me, but my biggest pet peeve of Charlotte FC is that we spent so much money on a particular designated player from Europe that hasn't really done much. He's on a hot streak right now, but he's also a diva and has, in my opinion, an attitude problem. But That being said, focus on the positives. I wanted Shiki to stay. And luckily, Charlotte did the right thing, or at least came to terms. And now he and both he and Bram Bronico have at least 3-year extensions with the option for a 4th. So we'll see how it goes. Quick recap on Charlotte. I think we are in 10th place right now. We're about 3 or 4 points away from playoffs. So we only have about like 8 or so games left. So fingers crossed. Because we know we've been around the bubble. I say we because after being in the supporter section for half the season and basically standing up and cheering and yelling and screaming for 90 plus minutes weekend and weekend with a home game, you feel like you're like in the thick of it, like you've played an entire game. It could also just be that I'm super out of shape. We'll talk about that later. But yes, we still got hope to make playoffs, but maybe it's just me being a hopeful person. You never know. Don't lose hope. Lose it. And with that, football's also back in Charlotte today, if I edit this fast enough and get this out in time. But today, the Carolina Panthers are going to play the Buffalo Bills in week 3 of the preseason at home. So that means right outside my apartment is going to be full of traffic, and I'm not going to enjoy my Friday. But I will be cooped up here watching some Panthers football. And honestly, that's all I got because I am so ill-versed in NFL football, just football in general right now because my brain is still in summer mode. And so, when the temperatures start dropping and we get a little bit more into the season, I'll start doing more research and start really following. But for now, just be happy that football's back. People are back. That pandy wandy that we were going through, I guess still going through, it hasn't really stolen the spirit of good old American football. I hate myself for saying it like that, but we continue. I mean, hey, I ran into starting quarterback Baker Mayfield picking up some breakfast burritos. He's a cool dude. Shorter than I shorter than I thought, but that's neither here nor there. With that, we'll take a break because Lord knows I'm losing it. You got to get back on the bike. You got to shake out the cobwebs, do your thing. But we'll be back. We'll take a break. We'll talk about my personal favorite debate right now because this is really one of those serial killer tests. And then we'll send you off on your weekend to do glorious and wholesome weekend things. I'll be right back.
P.O.P.
And we're back with the great debate. This week's debate and really serial killer test part, 1, we'll say. How do you take your footwear off? Do you go shoe, sock, sock? Or do you go shoe, sock, shoe, sock? And there's literally only one right answer to this, and I'll talk about it next week because just me thinking about the fact that there are people out there that could pick another option makes my blood boil. And I don't know what that says about me, but if you pick one of these options, you for sure are on my list of sociopathic, possibly psychotic, serial killer range. So just know, do you go shoe, sock, sock, or shoe, sock, shoe, sock? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the polls on Instagram, and we'll talk about it next week. But with that, we're not going to do a follow this week just because the Lord knows I got to get my ish together. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the Problems on Problems YouTube channel right here. Hit the notification bell. I think it's over here. I don't know where things are anymore, but I think it's over here just so you can get updates on new episodes, new shorts, teaser trailers like last week, good old things like that. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Problems on Problems Podcast, at Problems_pod on Twitter. And per usual, follow your boy at Mike Sandy 18 on all social media. But like I always say, guys, if it's not a good time, hope it's good. Fuck. If it's not a good time, hope it's a good story. Miss y'all. Welcome back, and I will see you guys next week.